What's up, everybody? Go ahead and tweet as well.
The Twitter sphere.
The Twitter sphere. Lulu Kaisa. Okay, that's probably fine. What's up, Scott?
Oh my gosh, Fruitable is so good.
What is it?
It's called Fruitable.
What is that all about?
Basically, they make bowls with just a bunch of fruit and like acai base, which is kind of like it's like a purple fruit that they mix all together, and then on top there's granola, pineapple, kiwi, blueberry, all kinds of good stuff. Peanut butter, Nutella. It's amazing.
Nice. Sounds pretty tasty.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Uh-oh, it's the Yuumi.
That's right.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Ready to risk our lives, defeat our foes, and maybe knock over some cups.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I'm Yuumi, and you're warm.
Oh, let me tweet here too. Oh.
First blood. Minions have spawned.
Cool, cool.
Gotta give it
Give them a head start. Make it
Head
interesting. Did we get invaded?
We did.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think if they took our red or not.
Hugs.
Okay, they didn't. Because I was not wanting to get flanked, in other words.
I see.
Wow. Holy shit.
Where's my fishy fish, my dear?
get 2 points in Q. And then maybe start getting more points in W.
He's spot side.
You have been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I guess there was a delayed missile kill on me. I'm not really sure how she even killed me, to be honest.
Keep an eye out for Red Dot, Book. It's gotta be here somewhere.
How did she get... Oh, she got the initial first blood. Okay, so that's why she beat us level 1. I didn't notice that. So she had a long sword at level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Today
And
we
I
are
think
destroyers.
Gen 8 2 isolated Qs also.
An ally has been slain.
I won't lose you, Book. Not after losing Master.
Dude, are you fucking kidding
The
me?
void's reach is long.
What? How did Lulu do that much damage?
Is it time to save the world again?
I got polymorphed and then just like killed in 1.5 seconds from 100 to 0. Alright, well. Lulu did almost as much as the freaking Kaisa did.
An ally has been
She
slain.
didn't even ignite me or anything. I don't understand. I actually don't. How she did 400 damage or whatever it was. Okay, well, I cannot just walk up and auto attack them.
An ally has been slain.
We're getting destroyed top too.
So,
She healed, I think. No, Jin healed. Never mind.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3.
Where's my fishy fish, fish?
Waiting.
Like a tiger.
oh, I missed. Damn it.
Ever pretend you're
Bad
part of the
positioning on the
war?
wave, but this is what we gotta deal with.
Shut down.
The expert hunter stalks the battlefield.
It's warded, man. I mean, this seems like it's gonna be really bad.
Today, should I follow my head or my nose? Sunbeam ahead.
Yeah, they're just gonna kill him and take the dragon. Like, why the... It's so stupid.
An ally has been slain.
Float us that way.
go. Ooh, that was a great Shen ult. That was almost really bad.
Two, book.
You will learn what beauty truly is.
Yuumi has like no wave clear though, which is kind of rough sometimes, but
Kiss that, you giant pile of stones.
no, dude, run! We don't have time for that. She might interrupt our back now. She's gonna throw a random W in this bush. Please don't hit me with a W. Of course she fucking is. God bless. Now we don't get it back, because he literally, for one minion.
Shall transcend.
An enemy has been slain.
Knocked him over. You ever get so sleepy you fall asleep sitting up? Just me?
So we lost a plate off of that. Wow. Isn't she in the, she's in one of these bushes, isn't she?
It's okay. We've got 6 left. Or was it 5? Keep an eye out for red dot, Brooke. It's gotta be here somewhere.
I didn't think Kai'Sa would just literally just run through me and dive tower off that. But yeah, I guess I should have. She's like completely disrespecting
Rampage.
our jungle, but okay, just one hit, baby.
I miss the way my yordle
Please.
between my ears. Being read from cover to cover sounds nice too. After you play the piano while I nap too.
But yeah, I guess I was probably too greedy. I don't know.
3.
I just didn't think she'd be able to die me by herself. But I am pretty slow without boots.
Hey, it's time to
You know where Lee's at?
And I was really low on mana. Nah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Okay.
What? Where was that ward?
Okay, he's mid.
Okay.
Today we are destroyers.
Coming over. I got him though, I think. Did I?
We got the zoomies.
Oh my god, his shield.
An ally has been slain.
My shield was insane.
Where's my fishy fish dish?
What's up, Tommy? Yeah, we're playing old Yuumi. Start off here.
Stalks the battlefield.
Silas is behind. My E is just not.
You can pat me on my chin.
Turret plate will fall soon.
I thought we were playing.
Your turret has been
especially because you saw them right there. Yeah, unlucky. My mini-map was disabled. Sorry, guys.
An ally has been slain.
Not gonna help.
I love hugs.
Oh.
The AFK book cat. I really don't think she's AFK. She's harder to play than people think she is. Like, yeah, it looks really easy when you attach to someone that's really fed, right?
Where to, book?
But, you know, something like Darius is really easy too, and he's like 10-0, right? So she's not like as skill expressive as something like, Thresh, you know, but I would say more so than Sona, probably above average.
Keep an eye out for red dots. Here somewhere. I'm an independent cat.
What the? I don't know why she jumped off right there.
We got the zoomies.
Whole team's
Wow, that was definitely unfortunate. I hopped off to auto attack and get some more mana, and then she just ulted. And then she ulted and knocked me up at the same time.
Is it time to save the world again? Hey, Book, do you ever take a nap? You can't? What did you do all day?
I was like, pretty sure I was like super at that point, and we really needed that shield. Like, Lulu literally had a quarter of a second to time that ult.
Today we are destroyers.
People just don't understand Yuumi's mana cost. Like, you can cast like 4 spells, and that's it. And I use 2 E's to get Hecarim over there on time.
Is it time to save our friends again?
We need to do this now.
Like, if the fight goes longer than a couple of seconds, then you really have to jump off at some point. I mean, you could argue I could have waited on Lulu's ult, I guess, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch it. It's possible I could have stayed attached a little bit longer, but I'm pretty sure I was basically out of mana. Do they have the details about the Tahm Ken's work, or are you talking about Jijong, or are you talking about just them saying generic stuff about what they might do with him? Because I've seen the thing where they've said, oh, we're going to replace his, you know, basically swap his W and his R, but I haven't seen anything that, haven't seen any like details about it. They said the same thing basically last year. Yeah, that's kind of old news. It's news that's like being marketed as new news that's actually old news. They said that like last spring or something.
All right. You can kill the fan. Go Hecron! Oh my gosh. Am I dead here? I'm so dead.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't sneak in and steal this. Yeah, there he is. Are we sure about this? I can't zone him. I'm Yuumi.
Do your ult.
Oh my god, the fucking Baron Tentacle. Well, I guess we're just gonna 50-50 it, because fuck it.
I got it.
We got it, alright. We should've just killed Lee.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know why Shin went over the wall.
Yeah, I should have saved. I should have just let him die.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Oh my god, our engage is actually insane. Vector, if you just stay on Hecron and then Shin ult. Good. Trying to save Hecron.
Yeah, you just gotta let him go. I guess there's nothing for them to get, really.
Has been slain.
It's a really good ult. Just let them damage. I'm up.
Back on my own.
I'm gonna kill Lee. Save me. We can kill him.
I knocked it over.
Alright, well.
Let me get this tower here.
Don't worry. I'll be here
Team has destroyed a turret.
It'd be nice if Hecarim came over here instead of A-ramming. Why take objectives when you can 2v5?
Where's my fishy, fishy fish?
Yeah, just get the tower and back, I think. They're all dead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get this.
Shut
Yeah,
down.
alright, just back then. I have to defend base.
I've read all of book. Well, most of the book. I like the pictures of fish, of which there are none, book.
We got Jin in 5.
Waiting. Soldiers, onward!
What's up, Great Graves?
Keep an eye out for red dot.
Baron's up in 15.
Gotta be here somewhere.
Nope.
Your team has destroyed.
Oh, Lee's
a
bottom?
turret.
Today
Right here?
we are
Yeah.
destroyers.
I said it was gonna try to backdoor. I don't know what they're gonna accomplish. They're gonna get the tier 2 bottom, I suppose.
We're probably coming up here.
No, they're just giving it to us. And then they're just gonna get the tier 2 bottom. Well, our macro was bad, but so is theirs.
I'm back in to help Shen.
Has been slain.
Okay.
We did it! We knocked him over!
I don't think we can kill her.
Yeah, I think we can get this
Your
dragon
turret
though.
has been destroyed.
Well, it's just Lulu and Irelia. Should be able to do this.
Onward shall transcend.
literally attached at the hip. I mean, I think I've been more attached to Hecarim than anyone else this game. I've been on Jason a couple times, but
Yeah.
If
You
I
need
didn't
to-
have to
if you can get on
work,
Hecarim, that's who
I'd
you need to
just
be
a
on.
normal magical cat floating around Vandal City. Okay, napping around Vandal City.
All right.
we didn't even
Just
get
need
a
to
inhibitor
push
off of that. It sucks.
Mid, we have Baron.
Yeah.
About to lose Baron.
They got supers. It's hard to push through that. You can maybe get
Yeah, you might want to go on
tier
Hecarim.
2.
Just in case he gets a good engage.
Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
No, I have tower.
Pretty much gone.
Eh, Baron's gone.
Let's just
Let's
get.
go
Can we
top.
get that? Yeah. That's blessed. Hecarim's like, hold on, bro. Let me go get wolves real quick. Jesus Christ! Now they're gonna engage. This is so bad.
Push his back.
Wait, why are we going back in? Dude, he's making such bad decisions. Alright. There we go. Oof. I finally got to jump off and get an auto attack in there without getting CC'd. I mean, it refunds like 200 mana, which is huge.
Destroyed an inhibitor.
Keep an eye out for Red Dot Book. It's gotta be here somewhere. Today we are destroyers.
What else can I even get here? Like, save up and get Death Cap. Or I guess I could get the extra warding item, but like, your warding kind of sucks as Yuumi a lot of times anyways.
Yeah, I'd get on Heck when you can.
Yeah. Okay, Silas is bottom.
We can do this quick.
Yeah, the Hecarim engage on top of Yuumi, ult on top of Redemption, and Shin, yeah, it's just like ridiculous. Shin's really strong right now, just as a champion. I mean, dude's 4 and 8, and he still is like very impactful in this game. Yeah, I mean, maybe I could have gone Death Cap instead of tried to get Death Cap instead of Ardent, but it's just so expensive. The average house price in all of New Zealand is $900,000. That's pretty nuts. But, I mean, it's a lot more like people that can work remotely, you know, in a bunch of different countries, so you might as well go down to some, you know, I guess it's tropical, but, you know, island type of place. What about in Auckland?
Time for one more.
Oh, word? Auckland average house is 1.4 million. Is that the capital? I can't remember. It's like there's one major support in the north, or one major city in the north and one in the south, right? I can't remember. Aren't there different, almost like kind of features? Isn't one like kind of mountainous and colder, and one's like more beach themed? I don't really know the geography that much. Heard it a pretty diverse geography though. Wellington's the capital. Okay. Well, I tried Yuumi out there. Yuumi's like pretty good with Jhin. Like, I was first pick blind pick, and I knew he had Jhin, and so I was just like, you know what? I'll just do Yuumi. Because, like, the extra AD that you give benefits Jin's AD, and then your movement speed benefits his movement speed. Obviously, he doesn't benefit as much from the attack, like, the attack speed buff, but... And then she's just really good with a lot of champions that are in the meta right now, too. And a lot of the hard engage stuff has kind of fallen off a bit or has been nerfed. There's still some of it, but, like, with Rel, you know, getting nerfed and Alistar getting nerfed. You still have Leona. Trist was also banned.
Your worst decisions will haunt you.
Try that out again. I've been winning a lot with her. Why not?
You and me, we got this.
Dirty North Islander.
Oh boy. Holy cow, so this season, this top laner, if he goes Scion, has almost 900 games and he's 50%.
Hell yeah. I think our top already locked Fiora.
Oh wait, that's not him. Okay, that's good then.
Hey, I'll take it, I guess. That's some commitment, man. That's some off-meta commitment. Damn, they got some serious CC chain there. I'm gonna have to get Mikhail's probably. That's that is gonna be a tough Jinx game. Malphite's just such a pain in the ass for a lot of AD carries to deal with. Well, we do have a lot of carries.
Do we believe in Sion?
God, I hope so. I mean, at least he's tanky, I guess.
True.
Yeah, shit. You're right. I should have taken Exhaust. I don't know why. I meant to switch out Ignite for Heal. Well, I banned it. I've been banning Morg every game, basically. No, it made it there. Day 1, I think we had 3 Morg jungles feeding on my team in a row. It's one of those where I've never seen it, like, good on my team, but I've seen it, like, be pretty effective on the enemy team several times. But yeah, you're totally right. I should have gone Exhaust Heal. I just switched the wrong stuff around. I mean, Ignite's not terrible. Like, we do need to kill the Nocturne, but Exhaust probably would have been better, especially against Zed.
We cannot let Nocturne get ahead early. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. Is Locket? I think Locket's just too dumb. I was wondering if I could get Locket here, but I just don't need the stats. I'm trying to think of anything defensive I could get.
Welcome to
This feels like these fights are not going to go very long.
I wonder if I just go Night Harvester this game.
Today we are
Oh, this shit.
Probably, yeah. Something that's going to give you some health, survivability. I mean, Locket is good, just not on Yuumi, I think. I just feel like you really need the mana regen, but maybe not. It doesn't have any AP on it. Remember, your AP converts over to bonus damage on whoever you're attached to, so you really want a lot of AP too. And you don't benefit from the personal defensive stats that much. So it's like no mana regen, no AP, no plus healing shielding. You could go Shirelia's, I mean, instead of Moonstone. I kind of think I might go Shirelia's just to help the Jinx. Maybe reposition, or help Sion get in there. Because I just don't know if Moonstone's going to matter. Like, the fights are going to be so short. It'll allow her to run away from Nocturne, potentially. Chia!
You.
It's alright. Where's J Bear, man? From the chat. He might be chilling. He's been chilling for the last couple days. We haven't been doing the dungeon running in WoW recently.
Where's my fishy fish dish?
Nocturne's going bot side.
Okay.
He's bot.
I mean, Plat 3's pretty good. Plat 3's higher than I am right now. I mean, the Locket Redemption, that is very, very good team fighting, so... I mean, maybe you don't need it. Especially for shorter fights, maybe the mana doesn't matter as much. Because your stuff costs so much mana anyways. Like, a lot of your regen is just from your auto attack, so... I don't know, I could see it. I could understand it. Just gotta watch out for Lux's bind. If she ever throws a bind and misses it.
An enemy has been slain.
We did it! We knocked him over!
It's like 4-6.
An enemy has been slain.
Whoa, dude! Okay, well, it's because Nocturne was gonna kill us. Alright, I guess. I was just... We should have just left. I was so greedy. He is losing a lot of stuff at the tower, I guess. I don't know. I think we fucked that up. I don't think we had to die.
Is it time to save the world again? Today we are destroyers!
Oh, okay. From what I've heard, Latin America is a little bit less competitive, but I think that's still a good accomplishment. Yeah, I think we'll go Shrelia's.
Scratched out the page that led here. That's right, look. Someone will never know who. Shine bright!
Especially because we're kind of ahead. How did Varus get one of those kills? I guess the tower.
Yes, the tower did.
Unfortunate.
Nocturne's level 6, so be careful.
Okay.
An enemy has been slain.
Do you want me to bury that?
Interesting combo. Yeah, we might as well just do it. Did you see me ult with this line? It's kind of weird.
I don't really know what's up with that.
A river?
Somehow we're behind on CS, so I don't really get that. They've got... Varus has ult. Just going Shirley's Mikhail's is probably the way to go here.
We got the zoomies!
Goes Locket or in Mikhail's. Well, maybe I need to research it some more.
That's missing.
Okay. There we go. I mean,
I don't think so. I mean, what do you think? Gale Force on Jinx? I mean, yes.
Ally has been slain.
um, what the hell is the blood thing?
Shield bow?
Nocturne jungle. He's okay. I don't think he's like insane, but he's alright. Yeah.
Go for this.
I mean, shield bow against Malphite, that's really one of the only things you can do is shield bow. I mean, this is a bait for Nocturne, but I think we can kill him.
Has been slain.
Tony won, but...
I didn't realize the worth it. Sad spot. Stone bot.
Goodbye to the darkness!
His head's Riverside.
Dude. Okay.
Now Nocturne's heading bot.
Okay.
It's right here.
Yeah.
I think he has R.
Yeah,
Stats.
he does. And I don't have ult. Yeah, we just need to back. Yeah. Yeah, we just gotta deal with all the pressure.
Float us
Yeah, I
that
think
way.
I just get him Mikhail's next. It's been a while since I've even gotten this item. There we go. So dumb that Yuumi's heals 213 mana.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Can we do it, Sion? I guess Sion don't want to do it. What do you mean you're alone? We were literally all there and you ran away. What? You were actually the person who ulted out of the fight instead of going in. Zed's probably coming. Okay. Yeah, I've got Shirelius too.
I guess we're going this way.
An ally has been slain.
I like Flash. I thought we were gonna chase him further than that. This has to be Nocturne, right? Or is he just that bad? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we should have backed up. I mean, we've been playing it so safe the whole time. I think we just got a little impatient. But there's no way that he walks up like that if Varus or if Nocturne's not there. I thought maybe we could beat Nocturne, but not without my ult, I don't think. Or Mikhail's. She did cleanse, but
It's over.
I don't think it was enough.
6 left. Oh, is it 5? I miss the way my yordle scratched between my ears. Green, red,
Well, I picked Yuumi after they picked Lux. So, I mean, Poke's actually okay against Yuumi because your heal's super expensive. Yuumi's actually not as good as a lot of other enchanters in like really long fights because you'll run out of mana if it's like a 15-second fight or something. You kind of want shorter team fights. Okay, Nocturne was top. Zed's middle.
Killing spree.
Nocturne is
Okay.
we knocked him over.
rotating to you guys. And he's gonna ult me. Right here.
Oh no!
Oh, you don't go with me?
No, I jumped off to try to get a shield. I didn't realize you were gonna go through the wall.
Your team has
Damn.
destroyed a turret.
That was my bad. I should have stayed attached and gone through the wall.
Shut down.
I jumped off to try to like auto attack him and get a shield to help us survive, and then you went through the wall like right when I was doing that. I should have just stayed attached.
Is it time to
Your
save the
turret has
world
been
again?
destroyed.
Keep an eye out for Red Dot Book. It's gotta be here somewhere.
so scary to walk there as Jinx, though.
I won't lose you, Book. Not after losing Master.
You do so much damage.
Wait, why is he not doing it? He's mad or something?
Probably.
Zed's over there. I do have both some, so I think if Nocturne shows up, we can beat him. Hey, what's up, Abaddon? Good to see you again, too, buddy.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Where's my fishy, fishy fish?
Well, I guess maybe I should have just gotten the mana regen. I don't know. I think we want redemption here. I probably should have done
An ally has been slain.
maybe Ingenious Hunter or something. Shit. We're like out of people. If I was dead. Jinx did get 2 kills, which is nice. We're all just like funneling in.
Your team has
It's
destroyed
okay.
a turret.
We've got 6 left. Or was it 5? If I didn't have
Guys,
to
we
make
lost a
Book,
team
I'd just
fight.
be a
Go ahead and
normal
surrender.
magical cat floating around Bandle City. Okay, napping around Bandle City.
My Boots of Swiftness Scion doesn't seem to be working. Oh yeah, from the 9 lives. I don't know. I think it just surrenders you out of the game if you die 9 times. Just AFKs you. Not sure why we're following Scion around. Oh, he's just jungling. Okay. I mean, Baron is on the top side of the map, so this isn't the worst thing in the world. He should be giving that farm to Jinx, but... Hey, what's up, Derek? I have started recording some more Total War, I just haven't released it. I want to make sure I get a good, 5 or 6 episodes.
An ally has been slain.
Can we even turn this? Maybe if Fiora comes up? Nah, probably not. Maybe.
She's all
An ally has been slain.
Hello? Jesus Christ.
Has been slain.
He died to minions or something? Like, literally, if he just walked over to me, we could have killed them all. Why not just kill Malphite, though? Okay, Jesus. Alright.
Aced.
God, it was so bad.
I just don't think Science would be disciplined enough to go to,
Or I guess we can go to Baron. Yeah, I can get Baron. Yeah, Nocturne's dead.
I don't think Science gonna come.
Sometimes I forget.
Has destroyed a turret.
Comfy box. What? That's a compliment.
Alright, well, I guess, I mean, they gotta try it. If he's just trolling, then... Just don't die, Fiora. Don't die, Fiora. Fiora, please! Okay. Alright.
Where to, book?
Hey, you're welcome to come play with us in WoW if you want. We're on Heartseeker. You can join the guild. We got like, I don't even remember, like 47 people so far.
I'm descended from lions.
Some of those are alts and a little more on the casual side, but I don't remember if you're EU or NA, but it's an East Coast NA server.
Onward.
This is so tough with jungler trolling. Like, we'd have this game so easily. I don't even, did anyone even say anything to him? Guess we just push middle, I don't know. I mean, we have Baron. Just gonna go invade Gromp. Huh. Okay, yeah, I mean, if you want to join, that's fine. I'm definitely going to be streaming it more once TBC comes out. Yeah, he just gets the fucking dragon for free when we have Baron and priority in 2 lanes. So dumb.
You can pet me on my chin and back. Nowhere else.
We're literally not going to get a single tower off Baron or a dragon.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I don't even understand what he's mad about. I didn't see anyone even type anything, but I wasn't even reading that much of the chat. I think he and Fiora said 1 or 2 things back and forth to each other, but I can't remember. They're probably just gonna run him down bottom. Okay, I guess we need to pressure mid, because, yeah. Okay, Zed's going Fiora.
This way. Okay, that waited.
I don't know where Zed is.
Now you're ready to prowl.
Has destroyed a turret.
think she was dead anyways, even if I McHale's her. It's possible I could have McHale's her. I don't know why she didn't complete GA. She really, really needs GA. We just completely destroy him. And she gets GA. Just gonna get kited. Okay, well. Flash in there.
It's okay. We've got 6 left.
Double kill.
Or was it 5?
And then I guess we'll get Ardent for Jinx, final item.
I love hugs. Book, throw that away.
Okay, so Fiora said something to Sion earlier. Okay, well. Whatever, man. Sometimes you just gotta put on your big boy pants, hit the mute button, and win the game. I don't know. Everyone has such frail little egos.
Keep an eye out for Red Dot, Book. It's gotta be here somewhere.
Maybe I can bait the Nocturnal here.
I won't lose you, Book.
It's a little trickier to bait that as Yuumi. So I'm so slow and frail. Rakan's like one of the kings. Just like hanging out in a bush next to like an ADC or something.
Your team has destroyed.
Dude, alright, I'm fucking reporting him. Kid's just literally running out of range just to troll. Alright, hopefully, well, Nocturne's up and Zed's up.
Yeah, Dragon's up.
Yeah. He's probably gonna die at this, and then they'll get, well, it's gonna be triple inhibitor. So that should be free. Even if they kill him, he's still gonna get triple inhib. I'm pretty sure.
Down.
Hey, Book. Do you
They shouldn't be able to leave base. It's possible Luck steals it, but
Your team has destroyed.
yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and head over there. Just
Over there, yeah.
yeah, maybe we can't do it without Tank. Nocturne's maybe rolling up. Oh, I think we can do it. Maybe. Yeah, just keep pressure.
You doing it?
Dude, please, Jinx. Jinx, we have it. They have to back.
Is respawning.
Oh,
You heal
it's
me.
so fucking dumb. Yeah, come on, Fiora, maybe?
now you're ready to prowl?
Yeah, Nocturne's in base. did get a GA on that buy, so that is important, but we're not gonna have Scion. Okay, Fiora's coming in.
So if I Zonius, do you fall off me?
I'm not sure. I think I do. I'm like 900% sure that I do. I'll just go ahead and attach to Jinx. They're gonna go for Jinx anyways. Yeah, the exhaust definitely would have been huge here.
Careful. Get out.
Where's my fishy fish?
Got him, coach. Even with Scion.
That was a good build. I liked it.
Which build?
My Harvester was good.
Oh yeah.
I didn't probably do a whole lot of damage, but it was, I survived a lot.
Yeah, the extra health and the movement speed when you proc it's pretty nice. Luden's gives you the speed too, but the health's pretty big and it's cheaper, so you get to complete your Zhonya's faster in those types of matchups.
Just so you know, that Scion was on a like 9 or 8 game loss streak, and you can definitely tell why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man,
Keep coming for
my
me.
op.gg is straight blue if you want to take a peek.
Yeah, we can look at that. Let's see. I know that we'd won 7 in a row, and you said you played some off stream, so
Yeah.
let me see here. We'll pull it up on stream.
Just look at the first 10 games.
We'll just ignore the rest.
Ignore the, don't go to like 11, 12, 13.
We'll check it out here. That always looks good when you see that 100% all blue.
Yeah,
Even
dude.
like all the same character.
Yeah.
It's just all matching. Yeah, man, we got it. We got our groove back. You got like what,
Oh.
1 or 2 more games.
I have to probably win 2 to get back in the promos to go to plat, so.
Yeah. But
I
you
think
can
we
do
can
it.
get it
I'm a
back.
believer.
I honestly been playing real hot lately, so.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's been good. And then you're still 54% on his ear. So that's good. So I
Yeah.
think when you're playing, you know, the percentages will even out, you know, over time. You'll end up going
Right,
up
right.
more. But
But
yeah, man. All right, well, good games, and I guess I'll catch you tomorrow if you get on.
yes, sir. Take care. You
All
too.
right, see ya.
See you.
Yeah, I don't know why Scion was so mad, but he was like 100% trying to sabotage the game. Like, not like, I don't know. It's just like the logic is so inconsistent because he was kind of sabotaging the game, but not really. I guess just a power trip or something for us to beg him to try to like win the game. Is that what he's looking for? I don't know. Because he was like refusing to go to Dragon or Baron. He was refusing to let me attach to him like twice in a fight. He was refusing to, you know, help teammates any chance he could get just to try to like hover on the edge just to get people like just close enough to win to where they might beg him or like it might get some kind of reaction out of him. So he wasn't literally running it down. He was like soft inting basically, where it's going to be difficult to like, you know, prove anything. But all right. Okay, we'll play 1 or 2 more here. I do have to get up with my daughter in the morning, and I need to finish. My grades are due at noon, and I still have some students that are turning in. So I gave them a chance to turn in some missing stuff. Nah, I give Jason the op.gg review for free on the house. Yeah, I was just like, just rounding up students, you know, pretty much. If they're missing work, then I just like, I've emailed them a couple of times today, and I was just like, hey, turn this in. My grades are due here. I'll still give you credit for stuff. I'm just like, I'm so easy on them if they just do the work. So I don't remember any of my professors hardly like hunting me down for any missing work, but I really wasn't missing work, especially as an undergrad. And then in grad school, there's no like small assignments. It's just like big essay. You either, you know, you basically turn it in. Grad school is pretty much like you get an A if you just do stuff. Well, Diana's banned too. I guess it's banned Blitz. I don't know. At least in English. Because that's not, I mean, no one gives a crap about your grades in grad school, once again, in English departments, right? Like, what, because it's not going to affect whether or not you get hired most of the time. If you want to get a tenure track position, you have to get published, basically. At this point, probably multiple publications. So that's like the real end game. And you're not going to get published if you're not, like, learning stuff in grad school and you're not, you know, understanding the field and making a lot of progress, putting in a lot of work. So grades are kind of pointless in general. I think they're not that useful. But especially in grad school, it's just no one cares. I think I got an A- in a couple of classes just because the professor is just trying to be like a real hard ass or something. But if you get a B+ or something, you really effed up. There might be a couple where maybe there's some. I remember there was like a critical theory class I had actual tests in it, so it was possible to like not get the answers correct on the test. But as far as essays go, like if you just do the work and turn stuff in, you'll probably be alright. Vayne, huh? Could try Lulu out here. Rakan's pretty good too against their team. And Zed.
Let's dance.
Yumi's been running pretty hot with her. I think I'm like 3 or 4 in a row, like, wins with her. Don't they say correct answers are racist? Dude, let's not just randomly pull racism into the conversation. I think I might dodge this. Their team comp's just too strong. Let's get on the other account. Really don't want to talk about anything that has to do with race. It's just all over the place all the time. Not that it's not like important conversations or good conversations, but I think a lot of people just really don't want to get into that for no reason in chat. Yeah, I think everyone's just kind of tired of it, especially like on a you know, a gaming stream. You just turn on like any media basically, and you can have that, right? Just turn on the news, turn on, you know, Twitter, any social media or whatever, and you can hear, you know, opinions about that. But it depends. This was like actual critical theory, which was kind of cool. I didn't really appreciate a lot of it or really understand a lot of it, but after I've watched a decent chunk to try to teach it to my students, because at the time there weren't like a lot of like YouTube videos about it, but now there are YouTube videos that break it down and explain it really well with examples. And I had a solid teacher who was really good, but just like having the graphics and the examples and understanding the biography of some of the theorists like Derrida and Foucault, I really didn't understand like or appreciate what they contributed to the field And it's actually really cool. I thought it was kind of lame before, and it was just really obtuse and like not useful, but it actually kind of is. It's actually really useful in anything, not just English. So I've been teaching it to my students, like very, very elementary aspects of like Foucault and Derrida. Okay, what the hell's the point in that survey? You know if people have played in Clash. Yeah, Foucault is so massive. I mean, he's basically sort of codified the concept of the man, you know, sort of pulling strings and thinking about power and, you know, stuff like different forces at work that are influencing, you know, so many different aspects of culture that people just don't even think about or appreciate with his power structure. And even like a big contribution was even the you know, that bosses are also part of that structure, right? It's not that there's like some Illuminati pulling the strings, it's that they're part of the game as well. They just don't understand these different power structure things. But that's like a huge thing, like the identity politics and all that stuff right now, you know, a lot of that harkens back to Foucault. So Foucault was actually like really revolutionary in how stuff was understood. I mean, Marx, he's kind of building on the ideas of Marx too, right? Like Marx was one of the OG people that was thinking of, you know, different systems that are controlling people's interests, that sort of set up as a foil to capitalism in a sense, although they really work a lot more hand in hand than people often think. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into that that's very, very interesting. And just thinking of like the concept of normal and how he uses that word, normalizing power, what makes something normal, just going through some examples with students is pretty cool. And the reason that I teach that to them is to teach them how to get into like doing some actual quality research, try to figure out what's the conversation about this topic, what do people usually focus on, and then finding some different like tools in your toolkit you can use to discover some fresh ways about talking about a topic. Like, hey, what are these other aspects of culture, or, you know, other, you know, possible systems of power that are working, that are influencing this conversation in ways that a lot of people haven't thought about or appreciated. Then there's stuff that's counter to that, right? Like you've got Derrida, who in many ways was countering a lot of what Foucault was saying. So it's interesting when you break it all down. I think it is. But yeah, students, you know, I only give them like 20% or something, power level 20% out of 100 when you go into theory, and they might only understand or really like internalize 2% of that, but that's still a huge edge over a lot of other people, a lot of other students, or just general population in terms of critical thinking. So even if they only learn like a little bit of that, even if only like a small amount of that sticks, I think that's still huge compared to what a lot of other English classes are teaching. I just think that it has to be taught in the right way with the right examples, and you have to demonstrate that it's actually useful, that it's not just memorizing crap for a quiz.
Your worst decisions will haunt you.
And usually it's something just for the top end, you know, students. But I think it's nice to throw some stuff in there for top end students. Because I feel like I just, as an undergrad, at a certain point, you know, after my sophomore year, I just really wasn't ever challenged. Like, I felt like I was just so far ahead of the curve, or I thought I was, that I was just kind of lazy and slacking off, and I just didn't run into as many cool, like, groundbreaking ideas. Like, my first couple of years, I took a lot of classes that really gave me some different perspectives on stuff, and I felt like I had a lot of, you know, fresh ways of thinking about things, right? I took like this Buddhism class, this Chinese religion class, this philosophy of religion class, just a lot of philosophy classes in general. And that, you know, it's like, wow, like all these fresh new ideas. And then it's like, once I got to 3 or 4 level classes, it was just like, okay, well, I can just, you know, recycle a lot of the ideas I learned previously and slack off a bit. But it was really just I was kind of big fish in a small pond, right? When I got to grad school and, you know, some of these higher level classes, like, oh yeah, I have a hell of a lot that I need to learn. It's like being your fastest runner in your small town or something and then going to Olympic trials or something like that. It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not as fast as I thought I was. Died in 1984. Yeah. I mean, there had been people, like, I suppose you're referencing the George Orwell novel, right? And, like, a lot of his ideas were probably inspired. I'm not, like, a super expert on, like, the intellectual history of Foucault, like, what he studied and what... I know he was heavily inspired by Marx, but surely he was aware of, like, George Orwell in 1984, right? But, I mean, his big thing was it wasn't just, like, Big Brother watching. It's, like, the system... Big Brother was a part of a larger system that was at work. So, okay, mostly AD. Yeah, we have a pretty good team comp if we can make this work. That's fine. Just run it that way. It was basically, it's just like true power is stuff that you never even see or think about most of the time. Like, a great example that I use with students is just like, you know, when you walk into an elevator, right? Do you just walk in and face the back wall, or do you turn around and face the front wall? Right? Like the doors that open, right? Nothing says you could, I mean, you could face a side wall. Nothing says that you have to do it a certain way, but everybody's going to turn around and face the other wall, because if you don't, you're perceived as weird. So, like, other people are exerting this soft power on you to get you to normalize your behavior to what people think of as normal, right? Like, this is standard behavior, and if you don't, then you're going to face social consequences for that. So it exerts a level of pressure on you to do certain things, right? And that extends beyond just small social stuff like that, right? It extends to different institutions, and all sorts of different aspects of society. Like, I think that's the biggest thing about Foucault and a lot of what he's saying is these kind of invisible forces that pressure us to do certain kinds of behavior, and thinking about how those come about, interact, and sort of change over time, and what are some of the forces that drive that. And he applied it to a lot of things, especially some stuff in sciences. Like, I haven't read his Madness and Civilization, but he was like studying the field of psychology and how the mentally what are thought of as mentally disabled people how that's changed over time due to these societal pressures. How, you know, people who had schizophrenia or something like that were seen as, like, you know, prophets and things like that, and they were, you know, largely integrated more in society over time. And then, like, the insane asylum came up in response to certain cultural events over time, and it was thought that you had to sort of lock away people that had mental disabilities and things like that, and how that changed sort of socially over time, and not necessarily for the best. Not for the best. And things of that nature. So he's got a ton of different books that all kind of detail these things, and he's very readable. That's another thing, is he's very, very approachable if you actually read his books, whereas some theorists are really obtuse and difficult to understand. No, it's not a survival. There are lots of things that are not necessarily... Oh, I can't tell exactly what Alistair, what you're saying, but a lot of it is not explained by evolutionary biology. How people are behaving, at least not according to Foucault. I don't know if she needed a flash after him, but I think me trading Ignite for her flash was fine, but... It is very interesting. There are some good videos. They're just like 10 minutes long that I could show you guys after this. Or not like watch with you on stream, but I could link them to you. There's one guy that has a playlist. It's like a philosophy professor in Belgium, maybe? I can't remember. He gives these quick like 10-minute lectures in English, but I show them to my students, and I just watch it on like 1.5 or 2x, and it's like, it's very, very informative. Okay, Nocturne's right there. It's a good find. He has some pretty solid examples too, so. And if you're interested in it, he kind of puts them all, like a lot of these different critical theorists in context and in response to each other. Because a lot of times, the theorists learn from each other and respond to each other. So like Foucault's responding to, or like Derrida's responding to Foucault, and then they're responding to some of these other theorists, they're responding to Nietzsche. So if you really want to do a lot with it, and you can, or you can just watch like, a couple on Foucault and Derrida, and I think those are the two probably most interesting ones that have the most sort of far-reaching applications for our society. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's practical, but you don't have to do that. I mean, another example is, especially in the United States, just walk into a movie theater and just go, I mean, in the age of COVID, it's a little different, but even before COVID, if you try to just walk right up, if it was a mostly empty theater and you just walked right up and sat down next to somebody, that would be very weird. That would create social tension. There's no reason it has to, but it's just not normal to do that in the United States. And other countries can be a little different about that, right? Or like speaking distance. There are lots of jokes about this too, right? Like how close people stand to each other when they talk.
I am bad because I'm free, and I am free because I'm bad.
All of this is due to like different sort of power structures. According to Foucault. I mean, Derrida challenges a lot of this, and I tend to side a little bit more with Derrida, but okay. Well, we didn't get an assist on it, but
That's some dark, very evil looking person.
can we just win? We're on the same team.
Living the dream. The dream of darkness.
I guess she just wants that plate.
Has been slain.
Sometimes these legions of darkness need a break.
Yeah, the urinal mat. I mean, that's another thing, right? If there's empty urinals and you just walk right up and stand next to somebody, right? And there's an open urinal, like you could create a space between you and someone next to you. It's weird. It's like the sense of weird, the sense of something being weird is completely driven by all of these sort of expectations that have developed over time in response to different cultural events and different pressures. The concept of cool, I mean, it doesn't have like a lot of historical evolutionary import, right? I mean, I guess you could argue there's some in terms of like, mate selection and, that type of thing. People were seen as popular or powerful, but I think it's much more of a cultural thing than a biological thing. A lot of it. But anyways. I think it's all very cool to study, and it's relevant for a lot of fields. That's what's so useful, because a lot of his examples, he draws on different fields. It's not just English or philosophy, right? Like, he pulls in psychology, he pulls in the medical field, he pulls in history. Oof. So that's why I think it's like super useful. And the same thing with Derrida.
World's gonna burn.
Derrida goes like real deep. Like Foucault's probably like, it's not that hard to understand, like to wrap your mind around what Foucault's saying once he explains those ideas, and you can either buy into it or not. I don't think Foucault's actually like that challenging, but Derrida starts to go real deep. Like how language actually constructs the way that you can even think or process information, and how it's all very unsteady. So like the fact, you know, he argues things like you'd have no concept of what a dog is without also having a concept of cat, without also having a concept of, you know, fur or paws or all these other things. That language is this complicated matrix of context that's constantly evolving and shifting, and that influences how you're even able to think.
I love evil.
Derrida definitely dials it up to like a 9 or a 10.
Ally has been slain.
This concept of deconstruction, this process of constantly trying to reevaluate these different systems. And I just like it because he like really tries to push people away from thinking about final results and like very concrete definitions, and tries to get people a lot more comfortable with uncertainty, which I think is a lot more accurate, like, and congruent with reality. Is that a lot of things are just unknown and uncertain, and it's often more useful to think about different processes for how to, you know, approach or understand different concepts, rather than trying to find an exact like solution that's always going to work. I think that's much more congruent with like the scientific method and things like that too. So yeah, he goes deep. Oh shit, what is going on? Okay, well we got the flash. I guess that's good. Our team comp's pretty rowdy. If we can just like keep it alive, like the Zac engage with Galio on top of it, and then Rakan. Like we have a pretty nasty comp. Yeah, let's just go heal. And then Jinx is like best ADC, I think. Well, chemistry is not going to have exact solutions. They're going to have approximations. Everything in science is going to have approximations. The only thing that's going to have like exact things is like low-level math. Because we just don't know. I mean, the truth is, when you think of epistemology, which is like the limits of human knowledge, right? It's one of the 3 pillars of philosophy. We can't really process a lot of information. Like our memory, we only remember like less than 1% of the actual things that happen to us. We just chain it together with this story, this narrative that we create about ourselves and everything around us, just to kind of have a driving story, because we need a driving story sort of as humans. But as far as like accuracy, how much can we actually remember literally every second of every day? It's virtually nothing, right? And we definitely can't understand anything around us. I mean, reality is, we can't even like really process what's going on. Our mind just creates all these shortcuts, right? Like the computer screen or the phone you're looking at right now is like 99% empty space. Right? If you think about an atom, how much of it is actual physical material, so to speak? It's, you know, virtually nothing, right? It's almost all 99% empty space. It's just electromagnetic fields and like light refracting off of that. It's just how we create a sense of reality and consciousness based on all this like chaotic information that we can't even really like process is pretty crazy. So I think just thinking about, you know, stuff in terms of Derrida is just, you know, much more congruent with that idea. If he goes, I'm just gonna kill him. This is too close to their tower, man. It's a terrible place to fight. He's got Stride Breaker. Dude, isn't he just gonna ult Jinx? Or me? Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. Like,
Shut down.
who couldn't see that coming? Jinx is like sticking around. I tried to shield her, but he just insta-kills me with Stride Breaker. What is Kakapo? Is that some kind of AI? I highly doubt it. That an AI can come anywhere close to processing
No Star Guardian.
the same thing as like a human 3-year-old, maybe, but dude, that's 100% your fault, Jinx. I should have just left her to die, to be honest. Like, I knew Nocturne was gonna do that, so it's my fault for dying, but it's 100% her fault that she died, right? That had nothing to do with Nocturne. That was her overstaying again. Like, you know he's right there. You know he's Nocturne. That was so weird. AI's way ahead of a 3-year-old. Depends on how we're defining intelligence. At playing chess, sure. At interacting with other 3-year-olds, I'm gonna say no. In a believable way.
Danger brings out my bad side. Just kidding.
Like, machines are very good. AI is very good at processing some types of information, but there are other things it's not as good at doing. Still really bad at emotions.
Living the dream. The dream of to the beat.
An ally has been slain.
Okay, yeah, this could be a good counter gank.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I don't know how they killed her so easily. Maybe she got charmed or something. I mean, she'd get knocked up by, Just back up. They're all gonna come over here in a second.
My hair.
Oh my god, real.
Down.
Okay.
Starshine is for dweebs.
I think what will eventually happen, more so, or what's more likely to happen than machines actually becoming 100% better at humans at everything, is that humans are just going to merge with machines. Like, it's going to be like Elon Musk's Neuralink or something like that, where we just basically hook the internet into our brain and we just become, you know, like cyborgs to some extent. I think that's a lot more likely than a full-on, like, AI that has like no biological, it's just like fully synthetic. How can you prove? Well, it depends on how we're defining real, right?
An ally has
How can you
been
prove this
slain.
reality is real? I mean Descartes I still think has the best answer, right? I think therefore I am. If you're able to think, then you exist somewhere, somehow, some way, even if you're a simulation or even if you're in a dream or whatever, like. Yeah, it just depends on what we mean by reality. I mean, this whole simulation thing is not like that new of a concept, right? I mean, that's basically every religion ever pretty much calls reality a simulation, right? Like in Christianity, the true reality is heaven and hell, right? And then earth is just some kind of place where you play moral games or something for spiritual growth, right? But that basically is tantamount to being a simulation run by God to test you. And most other religions have some version of that, right? Like, what we think of as reality is not the true, like, deepest level of reality. It's just some, like, variation where you're supposed to prove something morally.
Doing the right thing was boring.
So, you know, people talk about simulations now. Like, this is some kind of new thing. It's the same concept, just an atheistic version of it.
This place will look different when we're in charge, Riku. More dark matter? Everywhere. As far as the eye can see.
Cyberpunk stuff? Yeah, I think Cyberpunk is a lot more likely cyberpunk type of stuff than Terminator. I mean, there could be something like Terminator, but I think the ultimate winner would be a cyborg type of thing. Yeah, we just murder him in team fights, I think. Oh my god, real? God, he is so hard to kill.
Evil never looked so hot. Gonna go stare in the mirror. It's daily affirmation time. I don't know.
You obviously don't get the GDKP hate. I think it depends on how it's done. I think, like, what people don't like about GDKP is it feels like it is possible to get items without sort of performing and doing anything in a raid if you're getting carried. I think that there's a lot of assumptions about GDKP, which I think aren't necessarily all accurate after, like, playing one of them.
How do the Star Guardians see?
Like, one of the assumptions is that people just get carried who haven't earned that content, right? So someone could just, like, go into Nax
Ally has been slain.
with a bunch of money. It just feels like it's pay to win, right? You could just buy gold from a gold seller.
Good guys. Just kidding.
Buy a bunch of gold from a gold seller. Oh my god, we just cannot kill him. Holy shit. Dude, what is his armor? Look at that. He's got to have like 500 armor.
Life is way more fun.
So yeah, I think that's the assumption. And you know, you always have that headline story, right? The guy who went into Nax and paid like 198,000 gold for what was it, Might of Menethol or something. He's gotta be worth so much gold, right? Yeah, well, I got it, which sucks, but
You have been slain.
I'm gonna use that to get more power on the Jinx. But yeah, that's what it is that it just feels like it's pay to win. However, I think if it's done correctly in pugs where people are actually chipping in and contributing, but, you know, you're just trying to get some money for people in pugs, then I could kind of see it. Right? If it's like, well, what are we going to do? Just randomly roll? Because it does encourage people, like, to make more groups, right? Especially, like, geared people. But it just feels like it's kind of, I think why people don't like it in general is it just sort of feels like it's cheating the system with a bunch of people who don't deserve it and potentially could just pay a bunch of money for a bunch of gold and just bypass a lot of the content. I think the soft reserve system is a much cleaner and less controversial way to, like, regulate pugs than GDKP. GDKP just rubs people the wrong way because it also can kind of, like, it just encourages buying gold. Like, that's what it is. It just, like, really helps fuel the bots. I feel like, I mean, maybe that's not fair, but
Enemy has been slain. Double kill.
did we get it or did we got it? Okay.
Ally has been slain.
I am bad because I'm free, and I am free because I'm bad.
Enemy killing spree.
Sometimes we agents of darkness need a break.
It does give gold value, but it also it encourages people to just get more gold into the system. It encourages botting,
Down.
right? Like the gold, there wouldn't be as much inflation, and there would be possibly a better economy, you know, without the botting. It depends on how you like to get your gold, but it does give another way to get gold, which does encourage grouping. So I mean, there is that. It does give gold some value, but I feel like, I don't know, a lot of the game, like, there's a reason that not everything's BOE, right? That just basically turns everything in the game into BOE auction house type of stuff, right? It just, like... Damn it. No one was close enough for me to jump, which feels bad. I just feel like some stuff, like, should be a reward that's, you know, largely reserved for groups that work together over time in a raid to get them. Like, I think you shouldn't just be able to open up your credit card and buy, you know, an axe item for 30 bucks. But, you know, after I did run one, I ran a ZG and it was paid out to other people. So it was kind of cool. Like, people were getting gear. It was helping level up, you know, lower level people.
Thanks, Riku. Real cool.
And I kind of get it with, like, 40-man dungeons, too, right? How, do I need, like, Zeeks or something? Or can I think I'm just going to go ahead and get,
Dance to the beat. The beat is called darkness.
just get Staff of Flowing Water. Like, in a 40-man, it can take forever to get, you know, to get geared up. So, I don't know. I mean, there's not much Riot could do about it. But yeah, in a 25-man, kind of like what Vanakin was saying earlier, it's a lot harder. It would be harder to carry people through the higher tiered content in TBC with GDKP. Like, it could be done, but it does offer like a way for some classes to make money also that does not involve farming. So that does put a little bit less pressure on open world farming. I don't know. I'd have to really sit down and think about it a lot, what all the pros and cons would be. Okay. Because that gives like healers in particular another way to make some money. I mean, mages and bots are already kind of, you know, doing a lot of damage to the economy anyways, and like the boosting meta. So, I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad. It is. A part of me, like my first instinct again, is that I don't necessarily think that every item should be BOE. Like I think it should be a difficult, like earned reward. Really? Galio, you fucking piece of... Galio should have stayed in front of him the whole time. I don't know why Galio did not stay in front of him. Galio 100% should have just let me peel the Jinx, and he should have stayed in front the whole time. Does Jinx have more Doms yet? She's working on it. TBC is going to be harder in general. I think people are going to be surprised if they just... Like, so much of Classic and why Classic's easy is because of those stupid-ass world buffs, which I hate. I hate the world buff meta. It just trivialized everything, because it just gives so many... a ridiculous amount of stats to hunters. Or not hunters, warriors. In particular, and also rogues. I don't think it's going to be, like, as hard, probably, as, you know... contemporary cutting edge mythic in retail, most likely. Maybe Sunwell, but it's not going to be as hard. It's not going to have as many mechanics as contemporary mythic, but I think it'll probably be harder than people might expect. Especially because they're like taking away drums. I mean, when they did the Magtheridon on the... Now, it depends on if they're releasing nerfed Magtheridon, but I think only 1 or 2 guilds downed Magtheridon in the day they gave people to do it on the beta, right? And that's just tier 4. Shit. No, you're gonna get charmed. Oh god. Okay, Fiora just wins. She's just gonna win, I think. Right? Like Fiora takes towers so quick with her Q. Yeah, even like Apes, who is seen as like, you know, one of the better guilds in the world at speedrunning, like did not down Magtheridon. I mean, I think the world buff's just completely trivialized. I mean, there aren't that many mechanics in vanilla. There are some, but a lot of it is just stat check type of stuff. And if you just have a billion stats, like, just so many buffs you can get. Yeah, but it's not just hours of farm. And also, again, you can just pull out your credit card and buy gold from botters, right? But before, without GDKP, you would not be able to walk into, like, or it would be a lot harder to, like, you couldn't just go into Black Temple. You'd have to have a guild and go in there and clear it, and stuff like that, right? and be deemed worthy of getting that drop, whether it's roll or GDKP or whatever, right? Like gold was not useful there without GDKP, but now with GDKP, then you can do that, right? So yeah, heroics are pretty cool. I think TBC gives you a decent chunk of stuff to do, right? Like you've got arenas, battlegrounds. There are just tons and tons of different rep grinds you can do. Then you've got the heroics, like 16 different dungeons. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know if Nax needed it. I mean, you've got these clowns like already like just running Nax in like 43 minutes or something. I mean, part of that's like the min-max meta or whatever, but people just did not run it like back in the day. I mean, there was a lot of things that had to do with Nax's low sort of turnout and participation and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Yeah, I know it's unnerfed, but I think they already made they've made some changes to some of the stuff, like Mag Therodon or whatever. They took its health down to 4,000. No, you don't pay 35 euros for your character. Like, you only have to pay the 35 if you want to keep a copy of your character on Classic and TBC, right? If you progress to TBC, you don't pay anything. It's only if for some reason you want to stay on Vanilla and like raid Nax or whatever, then you pay that cost, right? Versus if you just go to TBC, then it doesn't cost you anything. Keep in mind, with retail, you didn't even have the option. There was no option. You had to progress to TBC, right? So they could have done it that way. They could have said, hey, everyone progresses to TBC. We're now doing Classic TBC. You don't even have the option of staying in Vanilla, right? But right now, what they're allowing you to do is make a copy and stay on Classic and TBC completely separately. And the reason that they're doing that is they just they want to give people the option to play on both if they want to, but a lot of the Classic servers, the Vanilla, are going to be dead servers because most people are going to progress to TBC. So that would probably just be for like the really hardcore Vanilla, like role player people maybe, or people who are doing like Nax speed runs if there's still interest in that, the speedrunning community. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with giving options, right? I mean, if, you know, a paid option, sure, why not? I mean, some people will like it. Yeah, you can also stay on Classic for free as well and just not progress to TBC. You only pay that fee if you want to go to both on the same character. So copy your character and you stay on both. Yeah, but they don't want to do Fresh Realms while they're also releasing TBC, because then TBC would be competing with Fresh Classic and with Retail, and I think they feel like they would just split their communities up too much to do that. They might, you know, re-roll some Classic Fresh Realms at some point if they think that it would not cannibalize the player base, because you want a lot of people playing an MMO game, right? Just more, that's like one of the main points, right? Is you interact with people in different ways. In the economy, open world, guilds, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but you don't need to pay anything. You don't have to buy any of their stuff they're offering. Like, once again, it's all optional. You get TBC for free, right? They're not making you pay $30 to get just straight TBC, right? And you don't even have to start over. You get a free copy of your character, like the progression over to TBC, just like originally. You don't have to buy, you know, the deluxe edition with a mount, with a character copy or whatever. And I think if you want to play, if you want to play another character, like if you want to get the level 58 boost, you can do that for $40. That's basically $40 to save like over 100 hours of game time, right? It's like $2 an hour or something like that, less than that. That you're paying, right? So for a lot of people, I feel like that's worth it. That's a very good bargain. If you're thinking about strictly time sync, if you've already played Classic a lot and you would just want to level up another character, maybe you played Warrior in Vanilla and you just don't want to level up for another 100 hours, 150 hours or whatever, and you want to play Warlock in TBC, that's a very good value proposition in my mind, right? Paying $40 to save 120 hours, that's like what, 30 cents an hour or something like that. Yeah, but you don't need to buy the deluxe edition. It's not for everybody. Either you care about the mount or you don't. Right? It's just a cosmetic you can buy for fun. So it's like either you can pay 30 cents an hour to have them, you know, boost you, which I think for a lot of working adults is a very good bargain if you don't care about the leveling experience in vanilla, if you've already done it before, or if you just don't want to do it and you just want to go into TBC. That's it for League, by the way, for tonight. I'm just talking kind of at the end. I think it's decently priced. Yeah, you get 15 hours of game time. So you're basically paying $15 for a mount, for a cosmetic mount. I mean, how much is a skin in League of Legends? A lot of skins are about $15, right? Between $10 and $20 for cosmetics. So yeah, I mean, people can like buy it or not buy it. I'm not buying the deluxe edition, but you know, the fact that it's basically $15 for a skin, I mean, that does save you in-game gold too, right? If you think about, okay, $15, how much is a mount? I assume it's giving you epic riding as well. Like, how much is a mount plus riding in the pre-patch? It's probably like, what, 600 gold or something? And then, you know, really good gold farms right now are probably 100 gold an hour. It's like very ambitious because a lot of stuff is really cheap on the auction house right now. You know, so if you're thinking that mount is worth 600 gold and you're thinking you can get 100 gold an hour if you're just really balling right now, that's 6 hours for $15, right? Which again is about $2.50 an hour in a, you know, in the United States where minimum wage in a lot of places is at least $10 an hour or more, right? So again, for a lot of working adults, paying $2.50 an hour to get a cool cosmetic that also saves you the 600 gold you would have to pay on the mount is a good value proposition for a lot of adults, I think. So again, not everybody's going to be into that, but it's a cosmetic that also is, you know, paying $2.50 an hour for 100 gold. Yeah, but I think you get the writing skill. I'm assuming the writing skill is included with the mount. That would be weird if it wasn't. But I think the entire package of getting epic writing skill plus the mount is about 600 gold. I'm not 100% on that, but the whole imagine paying $70 for a 15-year-old game. Well, I mean, you can reduce that into why pay $70 for. There's so many things that a lot of people would not pay $70 for, right? For me, imagine paying $70 to like get nosebleed tickets to some like third-rate sports team, right? But that can happen, right? In a lot of stadiums, if you want to go to some football team or football game, I don't know current prices, but I remember like getting Lakers tickets when Lakers weren't even like that great, and they were playing literally the last place team. I think they were playing the Raptors back in like 2010 in LA. It was like actual nosebleed tickets It was like $90 or something like that to go see this game. It obviously doesn't include food or drinks or anything like that. Doesn't include parking. We had to park a hell of a long ways away and sit up there and like watch them. And now it was a cool experience. I got to watch Kobe hit a game-winning shot, but I was just like, without binoculars, I could like barely see what's going on in the court. And I mean, a lot of people would say that's not a very good value proposition. People who aren't that into sports or going to stuff or paying $70 for, a fancy dinner. That's not even that fancy in a lot of places. Or paying $70 for, a collectible card in a card game that people don't play, or paying $70 for a piece of jewelry or a pair of shoes. Like, there are so many things that people pay money for that other people just would not give a shit about at all. I just don't even really think it's that great of an argument to say, oh, somebody paid X for something, right? That's like really niche. It's like, okay, everybody wastes money. It wastes, right? Everybody buys things that other people would consider to be wasted money. You could find some people with almost anything that you do where they would say that's wasted money. But you know what? If it gives people joy, if it gives people happiness, and that's what they want to do, why not? Well, I mean, all of those things are optional, though. Like, yeah, we could say the cost should be lower, but I think, once again, it's pretty reasonable, in my opinion. Just because it's 30 cents an hour for the boost, and it is a cosmetic that is, you get the free game time, which is $15 for deluxe, right? And so that's taking it down to $55. The boost is $40 anyways. And so then it's really just $15 for that mount, which again, League of Legends skin, probably $15. Overwatch skins, probably $15. I don't know. That, it just feels like that's the standard. $10 or $15 either for a very small DLC on a game or for a skin or something like that. And again, you're getting a lot of gold for that. 600 gold. Which is, like at least 6 hours of someone's time, probably more right now. So I think it's pretty reasonable. Like, the ticket price sounds like a lot, $70, but when you factor all of that stuff in, what you're actually getting, and compare it to the gaming market overall in 2021 and what most games are charging for similar services and prices, I think it's in the ballpark. I don't think it's that extortionate. I mean, again, the sticker price feels high. I'm not buying deluxe. I'm not paying $70. I am going to buy a boost. But, given the 2021 rates in the market. Now, are all these other games also charging too much? It's possible. But again, I think that there's a lot of other shit out there that's really expensive and ridiculous too. Right? Like, I don't understand why I have to pay a plumber $300 to come in and fix this kitchen sink pipe that, takes like 15 minutes. Right? Like, my wife brought this plumber in. And I'm not just saying it's just plumbers, but there's just all sorts of shit where I'm just like, why does this cost so much? Right? Where he was going to fix all the sinks. And I felt bad because she had already called him in. So I let him fix the kitchen sink. And then I talked her into fixing the other sinks because she knows how to do it. She just didn't want to do it. And, it was going to be $300 for the kitchen sink and $150 for the other ones. Just to, like, rework the piping a little bit. Because we'd put these granite countertops in our old house to give it better resale value. And, even my wife, like an untrained plumber, was able to do that in less than an hour, and it was going to be like $150 per sink. And just like to install a gas hot water heater was going to be like $4,000 to build out this pipe and stuff like that, and it probably would have taken him 6 hours. Right? Like, just everything costs so much money in my mind. I don't think they're $100 cosmetics. Like, the skin itself is $15 when you take away all the other stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not paid by Blizzard. I'm not a Blizzard shill. I'm just, just trying to look at it fairly. And once again, I'm not buying it. Right? I'm not buying the deluxe edition. But I always try to, understand all of the other perspectives and think carefully about, some of that stuff. And, I think it's relatively fair because they're not charging you. Again, they're not charging you for the game. They're not saying you have to pay $30 to play TBC Classic, right? Like a re-release. And with Classic WoW, they weren't like, hey, it's, you know, $30 to buy this. They could have done it and people would have paid it probably to play it, but they didn't. They released it for free, and you can use the same sub to play retail and to play Classic. So they didn't charge you a new sub. They didn't say, hey, it's got to be $15 for each one. So I think they're being fairly reasonable. Yeah, and the loot box game, that's the thing that I hate the most, are like the gambling things. They probably are testing the waters a little bit. I think you're right. Yeah, I mean, maybe there will be more stuff that comes in, but I think that this by itself to start with is not that bad. And I don't know what their, you know, like money looks like in terms of Burning Crusade or Classic or whatever. So I think it's reasonable, you know. They gotta make some money somewhere on these things, and they're bleeding out subs, right? Like they've lost a lot of subs. I've heard in the last 3 years they've lost like 30% of their subs. So to keep the game going and to make like have the similar reasonable profit margins, they've got to find other ways to monetize, and at least they're trying to do it in ways that are optional, right? They aren't increasing the sub price. The sub price has basically been the same for 15 years of inflation, right? In the economy, right? It's still $15 a month, which is what it was back in like, you know, 2005. You know, they haven't increased it to like 20%. Netflix, increasing prices across the board. All sorts of services, increasing prices, right? Everything's increasing in price. But that sub price has been the same the whole time. They've just added on you know, a lot of other ways to monetize, which most of which are optional, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they like do the token at some point. They might wait till like Wrath to do that or some other stuff. I totally agree. They're going to be doing some more, but you don't have to buy it, Zach. Just don't buy it. It's okay to not buy the $70 deluxe edition. You don't even have to buy a boost. Just take your classic character into TBC. It's the same price. It's free, right? You just have to keep paying your sub. But you don't have to buy it. I don't think there are going to be a lot of people that are interested in TBC that are going to say, you know what, I'm not going to play it because they're offering a deluxe edition with mounts. You know, there might be some people, but I feel like it's like 5% or less of the population. I think most people just aren't going to give a shit. You know, there's going to be a lot of content creators that are going to complain about it and say, oh, it's you know, terrible, because that gets a lot of views. Right? And yeah, I mean, it is monetization, but I think there's been this huge movement in the last few years about any company that's trying to monetize anything. It's just like the devil, right? Now, there is some stuff that's bad, that's extortionate, right? Where they're charging way too much money. And usually it has to do with a subpar product, right? Like, you know, games being buggy and terrible on release, or paying, you know, pre-ordering stuff and then the game is released and it's just hot garbage. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's not great, right? But I think this is not one of them, because it's cosmetic. You don't have to do it, and like I said, the price is pretty reasonable relative to the amount of hours it would take you to get a similar type of thing. So I get it, but you know, companies got to make some money, right? And I just don't feel like it's too extortionate, especially once again in the context that Shadowlands is tanking, and you know, they've lost 30% of their subs over the last few years. And you know, they want to keep the game relatively profitable without making, like, once again, without mandating people pay extra money, without increasing the sub price, without charging an upfront price to pay the game. Oh, Vanakin saying TBC original had a deluxe edition. True. I think almost every release, especially those old school releases, had deluxe editions as well. That's a good point. I hadn't even thought of that, Vanakin. So that's not that far out of the ordinary. I guess getting the mount is different, but I don't remember what you got in deluxe, right? You got like a hard copy of the game and like some artwork or something. I don't remember. But I don't know. I think it's fine. You know, in my mind, right? Basically, $15 for a skin that gives you 600 gold on the side for free, which is 6 hours of work for really industrious farmers. And realistically, most people, it's probably closer to 12 hours of farming. So it gives you 12 hours of free farming and a cosmetic to 15 hours or $15 of game time, free included. And then the boost, again, is paying like 30 cents or less per hour to get a fresh character if you want to switch it up and you don't want to, you know, level again for over 100 hours. But anyways, okay, well, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank y'all very much. Interesting discussion on WoW. So once again, am I going to buy Deluxe? No. Do I think it's the absolute devil? No. Could it possibly lead to, you know, some stuff that would be bad down the road? Potentially, sure. But personally, I don't. I mean, I've heard the argument too that introducing that mount like invalidates the uniqueness of other loot. It's like, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it looks cool, but it's not like it's substituting for like, you know, Sunwell gear, right? Or Black Temple gear. People are gonna still see you in Black Temple gear and be like, wow, you know, he's in Black Temple. Like, that's somewhat of an accomplishment. I don't think that the... I mean, maybe if you get OR or something like some other kind of unique mount, it could make that look a little bit less cool, but I don't know. A lot of that stuff is just kind of RNG anyways. Getting OR, that is, the mount and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's reasonable overall, considering all the context I just mentioned and considering how gaming works in 2021. I don't think it's, you know, that far out of being reasonable. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank y'all very much. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we can keep the streak going. I'll try to... I know I've done this sort of patch preview for League, what's coming up next patch, and I've put it off for like 3 or 4 days, but I guess I'll just release it tomorrow in fresh tier lists, and then I'll have some new Total War content coming for you. I did also record a Druid video, which I should be able to release tomorrow as well. Or at least over the next couple of days. So I should have lots and lots of content. So stay tuned, check all that out, and we'll be back playing League tomorrow at 11:30. So thank you very much, have a good day, and we'll see everybody next time.